Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles.
My name is Kirk.
And this is Obi-Wan Kenobi the dog. You cannot see.
And we going to work, baby.
We're going to work. Let's put some work in. Let's talk NFC Wildcard. Put the work in. Put the work in. Gotta do. Play together. Play together. We have 3 games for the NFC Wildcard weekend coming up. Seattle at San Francisco, the New York Giants at Minnesota, and the Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Monday Night Football.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Some classic teams right there.
Some classic teams. And we actually have the opener for the Wild Card weekend, the coveted Saturday morning spot.
Oh, yeah.
The Seattle Seahawks, our hometown boys, go to the San Francisco Levi's Stadium outside of San Francisco for a potential beatdown, hopeful upset.
Hopeful upset. We're hoping. I mean, we made it.
We made it. I honestly, there's a piece of me, actually a pretty large piece of me, that would happily have the Lions in this game instead of us.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to watch this.
Watching the Seahawks game, and then when it went to overtime, I was rooting for a tie. I was like, just tie it so that the Lions can make it in.
Yeah.
Please.
I'd much rather. The Lions 49ers would be one of the best games of the weekend.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, if it was the Vikings at the 2 seed, I would have been rooting for the Seahawks all day. That's a great matchup.
Oh, that is. Yeah.
But here we are. We got our rival. So we're going to give them everything we got.
Yeah, the second playoff game between these two teams. The only other one, of course, the 2013 NFC Championship, known around here as the Tip.
Yep.
That's the only other time we've met. Though that kind of makes sense. We were in the AFC for the first 20 years of our existence.
Yeah. So, and we obviously never made a Super Bowl, so we couldn't go play the Niners.
So the 49ers were there waiting for us a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
That 2013 NFC Championship, we actually have a Barn Series episode about it with our dad. Talked about it for an hour and a half. Check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Found wherever podcasts are found. Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, Bobby Wagner.
The glory days.
Marshawn, Cam Chancellor.
It's hard to believe that was 10 years ago.
Frank Gore was in that game. Yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
This is not going to be that game. We are huge underdogs.
It's going to be the Niners getting a tip.
I would hate that.
Oh, I would too.
I remember when Richard Sherman became a 49er, I said I will always love Sherman and I'll always be on his side unless we get to an NFC Championship and the opposite situation happens to us because of Sherman. That's the only way I can. I'll disown him.
Still love him regardless.
Yeah. And then he got toasted by Sammy Watkins in the Super Bowl. Oh, okay.
He was still a Seahawk.
Yeah. So we are the huge underdogs in this game, 9.5 points. Yet the 49ers are the one with the 7th round rookie quarterback, Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, who is on absolute fire.
Absolutely.
Is Brock Purdy good?
He hasn't done anything wrong. I don't think he's not Mahomes. He's not Allen. He's not a creator. But he certainly knows what to do. And when he has to improvise, he's not pulling a Jimmy Garoppolo. So it looks pretty good compared to what the 49ers have been rolling out for the entire Kyle Shanahan head coaching job there. The problem is he has shown a few, I'm a rookie, I'm the 7th round pick. He's had a few moments like that. So you keep it close. I think maybe we got a, maybe we got a chance to see the rookie actually be a rookie.
Yeah. I mean, I do get, right now everyone's excited about Purdy.
Oh, yeah.
6-0. He's got a better passer rating than Garoppolo had. He had better yards per pass. But there is a reason he was in the 7th round. The NFL is not that stupid.
I hope not. Yeah.
Now, there is the element of you never really know if you can do it until you're in it. That part is hard to evaluate. Brock Purdy is someone who can process the NFL.
Yeah.
And that's a very hard thing to evaluate, and he can.
He can.
And he's a diamond in the rough in that sense.
Yeah, not afraid of the stage.
But he is still limited, arm strength-wise. We haven't seen him really push the ball down the field. When the Kyle Shanahan scheme doesn't go right, will Brock Purdy be able to take them over the top? Now, I know you said it already. Garoppolo didn't.
No.
Garoppolo was actually a drain on them in both the Dallas wildcard game last year and the Green Bay. Like, they won despite their quarterback trying to lose the game last year.
Pretty much in all 3 of the games.
Oh, God. Purdy.
Purdy's the question. You know, the Niners are just trying not to have that be the thing. They have all the other pieces.
Yeah.
Fantastic defense. They got McCaffrey. They've got Ayuk. They've got Samuel. They've got Kittle. Clearly, they have all the weapons. Good offensive line. There's nothing missing besides the quarterback.
And it is do you think it's the best defense in the league?
Yes.
I do too.
I mean, it has to be.
Fred Warner, baby.
I mean, they've won like 10 straight games. Since McCaffrey came over, they've just been rolling. It's hard to stop the Niners even without a quarterback. And all Purdy has to do is be a game manager. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are, 50 quarterbacks in the league that could probably do the exact same thing that Purdy's doing and winning games. But
there's so many good players.
Here's my thing. Okay, because nobody's picking the Hawks. Nobody. There's nobody even putting it in on Vegas. They're like, I'm not wasting $5 on that. That's perfect. That's Pete Carroll being an underdog. And the thing that everybody's forgetting is that quarterbacks are fragile. Brock Purdy hasn't been hit a whole lot. All it takes is a Brock Purdy concussion in second quarter, and we're talking about a whole new ball game.
An all-time bad beat.
Who is the Niners' backup quarterback right now? Does anybody know? I don't think the Niners know.
Yeah. Somebody was working at Buffalo Wild Wings earlier.
I'm telling you, if Brock Purdy somehow, God forbid he gets hurt, but if he does, nobody knows that guy's name. Who's going to take the role? Who's going to take that team somewhere? I mean, it's devastating. I mean, like, that is a crippling blow. You thought Brock Purdy was the end of the 49ers season. He barely salvaged him, but if he goes down, ooh.
It appears to be Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson, when he played for the Commanders a couple times.
Yeah.
Is he really going to be the guy you want in there?
And it's been a while, too.
Yeah.
So outside of a Brock Purdy concussion, say the Seahawks were to win this game, is there any other way they could do it?
Pete Carroll's got to have a hell of a game plan.
Yeah.
But
maybe like one or two big plays to Lockett or DK. I don't think Purdy, they've put up a lot of points. So this is, but it is the playoffs. It's a little different.
To me, we got to do classic Seahawks. Boring first quarter, 3-0. Somebody hit a couple good plays at the end of the half and then try to squeak it out in the fourth.
We kept it slop in week 15.
That's the game plan.
Yeah,
the Raiders almost beat the Niners a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That game went into overtime. So it's not like the Niners are invincible on defense. Metcalf could do what Devontae Adams did. Walker, if he's healthy and running, can hopefully do what Jacobs did. It was Stidham at the helm with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Geno Smith is, as long as Geno throws the ball downfield, because he makes a ton of completions for 2 yards, and it's just like, dude, you got to air it out this game. You got to air it out.
You got those receivers, my man.
Yeah.
Got those receivers.
I'm hoping we got some big plays. I've seen the Seahawks pull off upsets before. We're talking Beastquake. We were a 7-9 team playing the defending Super Bowl champion Saints. Pete Carroll loves playing as an underdog. So that's the way the Hawks win this game, is Pete Carroll's got something up his sleeve. He throws all his, cards out there. He just says, here's my hand.
Okay. So a Pete Carroll masterpiece.
That's the way.
He could do it.
He could do it. And it's against the Niners.
It would be so fun.
It's the rivalry. It's the perfect, and nobody's picking them. Like, literally nobody.
Are we?
I'm a Hawks fan. I'm trying to devil's advocate this. Yeah. And I still can't really pick them.
I'm taking the 49ers for sure. That would be so fun. I'm excited about the possibility. I'm trying not to get my hopes up. Yeah. Remember, we were talking no expectations. No expectations.
Yeah. You got to just assume we're going to lose. I'm going to reverse jinx this all the time. The problem is we can't stop McCaffrey. Yes. We haven't stopped the run the whole damn season.
Yeah. We did this reverse. We gave up this reverse touchdown jet sweep to Tutu Atwell.
Yep.
In the Week 18 game. I'm thinking, what about when this is McCaffrey and Debo?
Yeah.
Like,
or Ayuk.
When it's not one of the worst, littlest, weakest guys in the league.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best. This McCaffrey-Debo thing, mark my words in the playoffs, there is going to be an up-tempo trap. This offense where McCaffrey and Debo are on the field together, and they trap the defense in some sort of substitution hell.
Okay.
Where Debo and McCaffrey can go both in the backfield, or they can both go out wide. Now, every team wants to do that. But to actually have two players who can legitimately be creators at both positions, I think they could. I really think this will happen at some point in this postseason. That's why McCaffrey is there at all. I truly believe that.
They could really mess some people up.
I will be pumped when it happens. I'll be football nerding about that.
You can go 5 wide and bring Debo into the backfield, and immediately it's zone or man. Exactly. I mean, even I could read that.
You pop Kenneth Walker up to the top. There's no threat.
Yeah.
When you pop McCaffrey up to the top, that's a big deal. When you bring Tyler Lockett into the backfield a little bit, it's no threat. Yeah. When you bring Debo back, it's insane. The flexibility. All right, we got to get to the next game here.
Yeah. But I think we're both
49ers.
We're both picking Niners.
Do you think that Seahawks? It's 9.5 line. I think I would take the Seahawks to cover that 9.5. Nobody beats the Seahawks by anything. Yeah, we ugly the game.
Yeah, Pete Carroll ain't going down like that.
Okay, so we're taking Seahawks to cover.
Yeah, the wild card in me really wants to say the Seahawks.
Do it.
But I guess I got nothing to lose. I'm not going to put any money on it. I'll say that. But for pride's sake, for the Seahawks' sake, it's the upset. It's the Pete Carroll masterpiece. He's going to the Hall of Fame because of this game.
Wow. In his 19th playoff game of Seattle.
Let's do it. Oh,
I love it.
Let's go Hawks.
Woo. So as we celebrate and we're in our sugar and alcohol comas Sunday morning, we pop on Nickelodeon for the New York Giants at the Minnesota Vikings. The history of these two teams, they have played 4 times in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
They met most often in the 90s, so 93, 97, 2000. Oh, they've all been pretty ugly games.
I remember that 2001.
The 2000 NFC title game where Kerry Collins for the Giants had 385 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Ooh-wee.
Throttled the Dante Culpepper, Randy Moss Vikings.
Shut out.
41-0.
Shut out. Unbelievable.
So that's the last time they faced in the playoffs. The Giants then went on to lose the Punt Bowl against the Ravens in that Super Bowl. They had 21 punts or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so some revenge for the Vikings here. They host the Giants.
Yep.
22 years later. So I did want to ask you this because you just called the Seahawks win. But what do you root for on Wild Card Weekend? Do you root for the upsets or do you root for the favorites to win so we can have better matchups next week?
I go for the upset if they have a capable team to actually make a run.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I'm rooting for. I mean, it's just if they've got a bad quarterback or they've got a clearly awful defense, I'm not rooting for that team to make it that far. Maybe if I hate the other team enough, like I've rooted against the Patriots a million times, it doesn't matter who the quarterback or the defense is. It's just want them out. I just don't want Tom Brady to go. But, I generally find myself, if it's a coin flip, I'm going for the underdog.
Okay. I'm usually taking my vitamins. I want the worst team to lose. Okay. I want Daniel Jones to be out. I don't want Daniel Jones mucking up one of my divisional or championship matchups. I want to sit down and watch the best teams in the NFL play football. I don't want Daniel Jones on my screen come Sunday, January 29th for title game day.
Yeah, but sometimes those teams end up giving you better games.
That's a good point.
I hate to say it, but Eli Manning was never really the favorite, and he made some great games.
That's
in the playoffs.
And any Giants fans listening would love to think about the Eli days.
And nobody really thought the Giants were going to win when they were winning. Like they'd go into playoff games and they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to beat the Packers in Lambeau. We're not going to win this game, or we're not going to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl." I mean, there were a lot of games where you're just like, "Yeah, this isn't a good team. It's a classic Giants team."
It is.
This is a classic Giants team.
A doof at quarterback, a defensive line that is maybe doesn't have a Strahan or a Tuck type of player, but they've got a lot of talent.
Yeah.
They got Big Dexter, that guy, the big rookie in the middle. They got Leonard Williams. They maybe get Ujulari back, and then they have Kayvon Thibodeau, who is becoming a star, albeit sort of a jerk.
but that's okay.
Did you see the Nick Foles thing? Okay, so Kayvon Thibodeau sacked Nick Foles, who was then like convulsing in pain.
Oh, God.
And Thibodeau does a snow angel right next to Foles for legitimately 10 snow angels.
Ooh.
I counted them, folks. He did 10 snow angels. First of all, even if Foles isn't hurt,
that's too many.
10.
You made your point. At 5, you have definitely made your point.
He's just been doubling down. He's just like, Jeff Saturday says I don't play that. I don't know who that is, so I don't care, or whatever. It's like, come on, jerk.
He should at least just been like, I'm sorry,
Thibodeau is one of those, he sounds like, and I'm going to sound like an old guy here, but he sounds like someone who's in their early 20s who thinks they've got everything figured out in the whole world. He thinks that he's going to get a new way of money, just an interesting guy, but he plays good football.
That's and that's all he needs to do. That's all he's focused on. Maybe the next Lawrence Taylor. Let's not go that far, but just because
that's reserved for Micah Parsons, my friend.
It was a Giants comparison, but the defensive line's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy didn't. as long as he plays football, he plays football. He might make a boneheaded penalty at some point in this postseason, but
the 11th snow angel.
How many snow angels is too much? We'll have to figure that out.
I just like that I can point to the Giants being good at something, because when they were going on their run and they got, they're 7-2 at one point. What did they finish? Like 9-8, or is it 10-7? I think
they went 10-7.
Yeah, so
10-6-1.
Yeah, okay,
that tie.
That's right. God, I hated that tie.
Yeah.
At least we can point to something they're good at, and this is a big win for September and October football. It matters, folks.
Yeah.
If the Lions hadn't started, I get that the Lions are better than the Giants and the Seahawks now. Should have won some early football games.
Exactly.
Because they mattered.
They did. And you got to love the coach.
Brian Dable.
He's got that defense playing hard. That's clearly their anchor. And, with as long as Dable can make Daniel Jones's job simple, there's a good chance that, you just keep giving the ball to Barkley and get some easy, simple passes. It's not like the Vikings defense is, the Niners defense. I mean,
the Vikings defense is the opposite of the 49ers defense.
They can definitely, the weak spot that the Giants have matches up perfectly with the weak spot of what the Vikings have.
That's a great point. The Vikings defense is the third worst defense, points given.
Wow.
Only teams that are worse are the Cardinals and Bears.
Yeah, and they keep getting bailed out in the fourth quarter like almost every time.
And a lot of that is Justin Jefferson, who is the best player in this game. We've been talking about this game, but the best player belongs to the Vikings, and maybe the second best player considering Dalvin Cook. I don't know exactly, but
Cook, Barkley,
that's a debate right there. But Justin Jefferson is the guy. If this was a basketball game, you'd be calling him the best player in the series, best player in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He took over the game that they played in Week 16. Giants-Vikings. Justin Jefferson had like 12 catches, 130 yards. He set up he caught like a crazy screen and did a huge yards after catch to set up a 61-yard field goal, which to the Vikings kicker's credit, and he made.
Good old Greg Joseph, man.
Beat the Giants.
That was a good game.
And every game with the Vikings is going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to come down to the end. But, the question is, if it's going to come down to the head, we said Jefferson's the best player.
Yeah.
But if they don't have the ball,
they're not going to stop them.
To me, the strengths match up and the weaknesses match up. So really the tale is, how well can the Giants score? Because if they can't score, it's over. And then you say, who's the coaching? They're both first-year coaches.
Yeah.
First playoff game, first season. I kind of trust Dable over
O'Connell.
Yeah, O'Connell. His name always forgets. It's just not a good, O'Connell.
That's not a great coach name.
Yeah, he's got to change that.
Need more, you need a Grant.
Yeah. O'Connell. I guess he can make it infamous, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we haven't talked about Kirk Cousins, and you're a Kirk, so is Kirk Cousins even playing well?
Kirk Cousins has had a good season. Okay. He really has. He's efficient. He takes sacks instead of throwing picks like he used to. Mm-hmm. I like that. He's playing within the system. He knows he has a star receiver, and he's working with it. The team seems to love him. He seems to be a good leader. I'm impressed with the season he's put on.
Yeah.
And nobody's really given him a bunch of crap this year. You haven't heard the narrative about he can't win a big game It's more about the Vikings are getting lucky, which is a new narrative, but that's great. That's off of Kirk Cousins. It's not his fault anymore.
Lost in the chaos is the expectations of Kirk Cousins.
He had 8 comeback wins in the fourth quarter this year.
Wow.
8. And that's incredible. I mean,
every second and third quarter, Kirk Cousins is gone.
Yeah.
Where is he in the middle of these games? The first drive, they look elite.
Yeah.
They look like the best team in the NFL, and then they win it at the end. It's been the whole Vikings season.
It really has.
Now they do it. Their center is hurt, and their backup center is hurt. So that could be something to keep an eye on.
It's going to be a problem with the Giants line.
Yeah. Let's pick this game. The Vikings are favored by 3 in Minnesota. You taking them?
I'm going with Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
I think they pull it off at the end again. Maybe not the same way that they did in Week 16, but, they'll find a way to...
60-yard field goal.
Yeah. They'll find some way to pull it off, I think. I got faith that this team keeps winning at home. If they're behind, they don't care how far they're behind. They're going to stay in the game. They're going to find a way to win this one.
Yeah. All right. I pick them, too. This was your Super Bowl pick. You picked the Vikings to win the Super Bowl.
I got to stick with it for now.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if they won the Super Bowl this year? Because Vikings are famous for their collapses.
Oh, yeah.
They have the most playoff losses of all time. They've made the playoffs but lost the most. But this year, you can see the collapse coming. It's inevitable. It's in all the numbers. What if it just didn't happen this year?
I know, right? It's drawn out all the way for you. You can clearly see how they're going to lose, and they don't. I got to say Dable might pull it off.
Yeah.
So, but I have to go with the Vikings.
I'm going with the Vikings as well. All right, let's go to Monday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys head to Florida. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who really earned that home playoff game.
Yes, they did.
Had an 8-9 record. Tom Brady's first losing season. He missed the playoffs in 2002 with a 9-7 record, so he has never had a losing season. And these two teams haven't met a lot in the playoffs, but they have met.
Interesting.
1981 divisional round, the Cowboys blew out the Buccaneers in their 5th year existing. That's the game before the catch.
Wow.
1982, they met again. Landry beat the Buccaneers. That was Landry's last win on the way to losing a title game to Washington, an NFC championship. And Landry never made the playoffs, or never made the title game again.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever made the playoffs again the rest of the 80s. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
But so they have met. There's just those are Doug Williams Buccaneers and Danny White Cowboys.
It's been a long time, though.
It's been a long time. Neither of us were alive, 81, 82.
We're talking 40 years, yeah.
At that time, that was Tom Landry's 12th NFC championship in 17 seasons.
Ooh.
The Cowboys are in the championship 12 out of 17. That's 82. That's only 8 more years, and then the 90s come, where they have 4 NFC championships in a row with Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
And they haven't been to one since.
Ooh.
It has been since 95. Are the Cowboys going to get... It's been long...
That's been a long time. I grew up thinking the Cowboys were the best team in all of football, like the best franchise,
26 years. They haven't been in the NFC. You're still carrying that.
Oh, yeah.
I do too, but the Cowboys suck. They haven't made the NFC Championship even in 26 years.
And they're always hyped. They're always hyped to make it, but they haven't made it. Man, that is a shocking statistic right there.
There's a baby born January of 1996 is 26 years old today.
Yeah, and he's thinking, why are you guys talking about the Cowboys?
What the hell's up with this?
They're not any good. And I'm just like, man, this is one of the greatest franchises in football.
It's pretty crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, it's just obviously it's different teams now.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have different teams now, but the legacy continues. Clearly, when you look at this from a legacy standpoint, Cowboys are way better than the Bucks.
Yeah.
Bucks have been a struggling franchise. They got 2 Super Bowls that basically came out of nowhere.
Yeah, really, truly.
Yeah.
2002 and 2002 and 2020, no success surrounding it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of bloop and then gone. Brady is in this game. Maybe his final game. We don't know. People are saying he might come back.
Please.
I personally think he won't come back. Here's my conspiracy theory on this.
Yeah.
When Tom Brady retired last year, he was livid that the news leaked. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And all these posts, every single guy, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, they have been taking pains to make Tom Brady stories that maybe he'll play for the Raiders next year. Maybe he'll play for the Patriots, so go back to the Patriots. They're doing that to suck up to Tom Brady. I truly think that. Okay. So that he'll give them what they really want, which is the real Tom Brady retirement announcement.
Okay.
It's all transactional, Kirk.
Okay.
It's all transactional.
I like that. My conspiracy theory was he didn't want to share the podium with Ben Roethlisberger at the Hall of Fame.
Ooh. Oh, interesting.
That was my conspiracy. He wants the show all to himself.
Well, you'd have to share with J.J. Watt this time.
JJ's cool enough to do that.
Yeah, that's okay. Defensive player. Yeah, you're right.
He's just not another quarterback.
Yeah, so it's one of those two things, everybody.
Yeah. And clearly that's why he's in this game. 8-9 team in the playoffs, hosting. God.
So I think the thing we're all wondering in terms of this is, will Brady just ever turn the switch? What has happened between him and Mike Evans? Chris Godwin's looking better, but it's not turning into points. Julio Jones is questionable his whole life.
He's been questionable since he came into the league.
Is there a vintage Brady 300 yards, 3 touchdown game in the playoffs that's in him?
I feel like this game has been inevitable. That yes, Brady will have a 350 yards, 4 touchdown game. The defense plays well. Just for some reason, the Bucs haven't played all dang season, and here they go against the Cowboys, who just get the short end of the straw, man. Because it's not like the Bucs they've been pretty bad. They haven't been able to run the ball. Brady's had to throw a unnormal amount of times. I mean, it's just so many attempts this year. Yeah. And, it seems like they're just going to have one good game. They're going to send Brady out. Yeah. They say, at home, we're going to give you that big win. You can be happy. You played great, blah-de-blah. This seems like the last postseason win of Tom. I cannot see them going to the Super Bowl, but it's just so hard to bet against Tom Brady. It really is.
And it's so hard to bet for the Cowboys, who always blow these games.
Exactly. And so does Mike McCarthy. Yeah. They're just built to screw up a game like this.
We called this in week 14 because we knew this matchup was going to happen.
This looked like it was going to happen back in week 8. I was like, oh man, the Cowboys are going to get that 5th seed, and then the Bucs are going to squeak out the South, and here we are. It actually happened.
And Dallas' defense is banged up. They're playing on grass, which Jason Garrett made a huge deal about on NBC. Now, Jason Garrett, I don't think knows anything, but he might know this.
But he knows something about grass.
He knows something about grass. No, I think he knows something about the Cowboys. Yeah. There's a lingering connection there. He made the comment 4 times. Jason Garrett, Tony Dungy, you guys on NBC have 13 seconds to say something in all your little interludes, and you keep saying the same thing.
I know.
Anyway, that is a whole other story.
That's a whole nother 30-minute podcast.
That'll be a 30. Micah Parsons has been hobbled a bit. The Cowboys, the news is positive, getting some players back, maybe. Van Der Esch, maybe. They're one of their corners, but they've been missing corners. They've just been hurt all over the place. Dak Prescott is a turnover machine all of a sudden.
Yeah, he has not looked good.
I was prepared to come in here and say that it was all bad luck because Dak Prescott, for a little bit there in November, early December, was adding up all these turnovers that truly were bad luck.
Oh, yeah.
But then week 18 comes, he throws a pick 6, the guy drops it, next play just throws a pick 6. It's hard to shake that.
Yeah.
I get narratives and all that stuff, and everything shouldn't mean so much. It's hard to shake that. It's hard to shake the fact that he doubled down on a pick 6.
He hasn't looked good, really. I mean, he's come back. He's clearly been better than Cooper Rush, let's be honest. Yeah. Okay, but he hasn't looked like normal Dak the whole dang season. And I'm just I don't know. I mean, Tampa Bay's defense is still good. It's still a team that led them to the Super Bowl.
There's still talent
a couple years ago. I mean, they got good linebackers. They got Vita Vea up the middle. I mean, Dak Prescott's known as a panicker. Tom Brady capitalizes on things like that. So, I mean, if I'm going quarterback versus quarterback, who's going to win a playoff game, I'm certainly not picking Dak Prescott over Tom Brady. I don't care what the record is.
It would be really nice to see a big Tony Pollard game or a big CeeDee Lamb game, but these guys have all been fading, kind of with Dak. Yeah. They've been fading.
And it's just, to me, it's the coach who's got off the hook the whole dang season.
Mike McCarthy or Kellen Moore?
Probably both.
Okay.
I mean, Tony Pollard should be getting the ball way more than Elliott. Yeah. He's clearly the better running back. but McCarthy always throws a stupid playoff, whatever together. They're still getting penalties, which was the problem with them last year, right? And nothing's really been fixed there.
Yeah, they penalized their way out of the 49ers wild card game.
He's got so lucky with the quarterback controversy early on in the season, not having Dak. They won some games. Since Dak's come back, they haven't really been that good. They're barely over 500 with Dak.
Man.
So, I mean, I just don't see this team actually pulling it together because they really haven't pulling it together all season. And sure, that game against the Eagles was friggin' awesome. They put some points up, but they blew one against Jacksonville. I mean, like this isn't a team that inspires a bunch of hope that they're going to make a playoff run to the Super Bowl.
This is amazing. I mean, this is how great Tom Brady is. that his legend has managed to carry through this season because he has been shit this season.
Yeah,
and yet we're willing to give him still the benefit after 17 games of Tom Brady Buccaneer football this year, which has looked like absolute horse crap.
Oh, yeah.
They were 8-9. They should have been 6-11 if not for two miracle comebacks. But I agree with you. I'm picking the Bucs to win this game.
And let me be clear here.
Okay, be clear.
Okay, Tom Brady's going to win this playoff game in classic Tom Brady fashion. Not because he earned it, because the other team lost it.
You hate Brady.
I hate Brady. He always wins and gets all the dang credit. And then it's always the other team that just kind of really implodes themselves. And Dallas is an imploding team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to say that the Cowboys. You could put almost anybody here, and I think the Cowboys might lose it. I'll be honest. If it was the Hawks and the Cowboys, I think the Hawks would win that. Obviously, I picked the Hawks over the Niners, but I might be a little biased.
So you're picking Tampa then?
I'm picking Tampa. I've been picking Tampa since week 7.
Yeah, and we did pick them early. All right. The path for the Cowboys is Pollard.
It's Pollard.
The path is Pollard, McCarthy.
Please.
The path is Pollard.
Listen to us. Don't listen to your gut. Your gut has failed you for years.
When McCarthy, sits down, his work day has begun, pops on the Mukilteo football show to hear what he should do. Listen to us this time, Mike.
Yeah. We're trying to help you because I really hate Tom Brady. I don't want to see him win.
Yeah.
Please give the ball to Pollard a ton.
We'll never be rid of Brady.
Pollard, Lamb. Don't throw in this third, fourth receiver. All of a sudden, he gets 10 targets.
Noah Brown, get off my screen.
Exactly.
Get off my screen.
Last year was Cedric Wilson. Quit it. Give it to your best guy. Like the Vikings give it to Jefferson. Yeah. Do that.
Shannon Sharp was so mad about how often Noah Brown gets targets, and it's so true.
It is.
No, you have so many good players. You have Gallup. You have T.Y. Hilton. You have CeeDee Lamb. You have Tony Pollard. You even had Zeke who can catch the ball. You got Dalton Schultz. But no, it's 12 targets to Noah Brown.
Exactly. And I'm starting to think this is why Aaron Rodgers was so damn good. It's because McCarthy always called a play to a fourth or a third receiver, and he went through his progressions and hit his number one guy again.
Hey, that is the thing that makes Rodgers and Dak isn't like that.
No.
Dak and Kirk Cousins and these type of quarterbacks, they have to learn the lesson. Throw it to your stars. Forget your progressions.
Exactly.
I think Kirk Cousins maybe learned that lesson. He's just been peppering Justin Jefferson.
He has. He got a ton of targets, 128 catches, I think, on the year, which is incredible.
Oh, man, I love Justin Jefferson. All right. Well, that is the NFC. We got
oh boy,
we got some upsets coming apparently.
Well, let's go Hawks!
For y'all.
Come on, you're going to watch a Pete Carroll Classic on Saturday afternoon.
A PCC.
It's going to get these playoffs started right.
Right. All right. My name's Miles.
I'm Kirk.
That's Obi-Wan, and good night.
Yep.